I once believed that as long as I was strong enough, I could overcome anything, until my mother passed away, and in silence, I blamed God. But then something strange happened. There was a long time in my life when I believed I was strong enough to overcome everything. I thought, as long as I tried hard enough, persevered long enough, held onto will and faith, then everything would eventually be okay. I lived by plans, always in control, always tough. No one saw me cry. No one heard me complain. I got used to being the one others leaned on and forgot that sometimes I too needed to be held. Until my mother passed away. Not suddenly, but a long, drawn-out departure, like a small candle slowly burning out, breath by weary breath. For almost a year, I was by her side every single day. I watched her body shrink, her skin pale, her eyes dim. Each day, my heart broke, torn between wanting to hold on and being unable to bear her suffering. I prayed, I believed, I knelt down, held her hand, and begged God to give us a miracle. But the miracle didn't come in the way I hoped for. After the funeral, I returned to an empty house. A house where every corner was a memory. My hands still habitually poured her a cup of tea, and then froze, realizing there's no need anymore. I didn't cry. I just felt hollow. A sorrow without form, but spreading like a fog, enveloping my whole soul. And in that silence, I began to blame God, not with words, not with anger, but with the heaviest silence I had ever carried in my heart. One night, I opened my mother's old Bible. Inside, a small note slipped out. It was her handwriting, shaky but clear. My dear child, if one day I'm no longer here, remember, God doesn't take anything away unless He has something more beautiful to give, even if you can't see it yet. I believe He will heal your wounds, not with loud miracles, but with quiet love, slowly and surely. I didn't keep reading. I hugged the book to my chest, and for the first time in many days, I cried like a child. But through those tears, something began to soften. The pain didn't vanish, but I began to feel God had never left. I still miss my mother every day, but instead of falling apart, I started to live on, living with both the grief and a quiet faith. I no longer ask God to do things my way. I just learned to let Him work in me in His way, gently, bit by bit, like sunlight breaking through the fog, not blinding, but just enough to let me know I wouldn't stay lost forever. If you are carrying a wound no one else can see, if you feel like God has been silent for too long, then please remember this. He is healing you not by removing the pain, but by being with you in the very heart of that pain. And it is that presence, that quiet, steady presence, that may just be the deepest miracle of all.